Welcome to Breakthrough with Lisa Nichols. I'm Lisa Nichols, and I'm excited to have a conversation with today's guest, James Radford. I'm so excited about this conversation. I've read some about you, your story. I cannot wait to hear it from you. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your background and where you come from, and what made you start your business, and how do you serve your clients?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Lisa. I'm a retired contracting officer. I joined the military in the late 90s. And then around 2002, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So I was forcibly separated from the Air Force. I had to figure it out.
Yes.
I was about to be jobless. I had 4 kids, single dad, just had to figure it out.
Wow.
The daughters wanted Chipotle. So I had to do what I had to do.
Yes.
What do? You just use what's in your hands. You know, if you have it's a hammer, you just nail. If it's a shovel, start digging. I knew acquisition and procurement. So I just tried to start my own company.
Right.
And around 2010, I embarked upon that journey. I forgot that I needed money to pay employees, and I needed to learn about insurance and payroll and those sort of things. I was approached by a government official who said, "Hey, James, I like the work you're doing. You seem pretty motivated. Can you handle your own contract?"
I love the word motivated because that's synonymous with you're pretty hungry.
Absolutely, absolutely. So he asked me if I was ready for my own contract, and I told him absolutely, and I was not ready.
Right.
Right, but that's the paradox of opportunity, right?
Yeah,
It's that
yeah.
you're never truly prepared for it, but you have to grab it when it comes.
Yeah.
So I got on the internet, Googled how to, do payroll.
get ready.
That's it. And that was my first contract.
Wow. I love it. My father has often said when I was coming up, he goes, "Baby, don't turn down anything but your collar."
That's
And some days you got to pop your collar.
That's right.
Don't even turn that down.
I know that's right.
And it feels as if I love what you said. If you have a hammer, get a nail. You got a shovel, start digging. Whatever's in your hand.
Right.
I see you sitting here. We see a powerful man, business owner, but no one knows what happens
That's right.
in the dark of the night and behind the black curtains. For those who are in that season, shed some light on the emotional roller coaster that came with beginning your business and leaning into the mission that you live through now.
Having my own company was my purpose and destiny. I knew that. I felt it. At 5 years old, I was walking around with a briefcase and my parents' old checks and, the receipt books of the checks and old papers and stuff. So I knew that was my purpose and destiny. But I was faced with the challenge of, the disease and, not really knowing what to do or
Yes.
having the resources. I was just committed and convinced, Lisa, that this wasn't the end. This is not the end of the chapter. This is not the end of the book. I want to write my own story. I could have took a job. I could have quit. Dead-end jobs are convenient when you don't have a plan.
Say it again.
Dead-end jobs are convenient. We don't have a plan. So I could have did that, but it just wasn't me. And I did not want this to be the end of James Radford. And plus I had the kids, I keep going to that. They were a great motivator because I was a hero. They looked up to me.
Yes.
So there were nights where you had to close that door or you pull up in the driveway and just put your head down and, try to get
Cry in
that.
the dark
Oh
of the night.
man. I was just convinced that I was gonna write my own story.
That's music. And that's not only music to someone's ear who's writing their own story. It's music to someone's ear who set their pen down.
That's right.
You haven't said it, and I don't want to assume, so I'm going to ask. You were dealing with the disease and the discomfort. And was there physical limitations while you're finding a new you and finding a new path and parenting 4 children? We all know mental, but some people don't even have physical limitations.
That's right.
What was that like?
It was about 2012, on this journey, and I was walking down the hallway at the Department of Transportation. I don't know if you can take it from my personality, but I'm very outgoing,
Yes.
silly,
Yes.
the guy that never has a bad day, seemingly.
Yes.
And my leg stopped working. I played football,
Yes.
this kind of stuff,
Pillar of strength.
right. And so my left leg just would not lift off the ground.
In the building where your client, this is your client.
Going to a meeting in the client's building, my leg stopped working. I stood in the hallway and pulled my phone out and was acting like I was waiting on a call or something because I didn't want the embarrassment of telling someone that my leg is not working. And at the time, I was kind of in denial, Lisa, that I
Yes.
had MS and it was affecting me.
Yes.
But that was the alarm that said, James, you really have to deal with this. Aside from that is the mental. I mean, the disease of me is a monster compared to multiple sclerosis.
The disease of me. Woo!
Doubting yourself, taking the easy road. Hey, I'm diagnosed. I'm going to be in a wheelchair. Forget it. That was the real challenge for me, is getting over the hurdle of, oh, I'm going to be in a wheelchair one day, or I might lose my sight. So why even try?
Come on.
And that was the biggest challenge. MS is nothing compared to the disease of me.
You led right into my next question. In that moment, when the disease of me is in full fledged, I mean, that hawk of doubt is hovering, that it invited itself into a room that it wasn't officially invited into. What did you tell yourself, and how did you gain the confidence to move that leg, to drag that leg into the room, whatever you had to do to overcome the disease of me and mindset, to naysay the negative thoughts, and to lean into James and who James is becoming? How did you do it?
I was born in Berlin, Germany. My dad was in the military. We lived in a village, and so you can see the coffee shop on the corner with the steam and the pastries coming up. The mountains was the landscape I would look at. They had a bakery, that truck that used to drive around and bring great treats, and the world was just a magnificent. On the weekends, we used to go visit castles and rivers. For my kids, I wanted to do the same thing. You have to establish that foundation of a big world, because in my mind, that experience made me truly believe that anything is possible. I mean, this is just not talk for me. It's really the basis of my life. I believe anything's possible. So when these dark roads, these tough times come, Lisa, I go back to that foundation. There's a quote that says that age wrinkles the body, but quitting wrinkles the soul. Perseverance is the key to unlock anything in life.
So with that mindset and with that tenacity and with that commitment, I know that you have had breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. So what was the big breakthrough moment for your business?
2015, I was working as a program manager, and I got a call while I was at work, and the Department of the Army said, Mr. Radford? I said, yes. They said, hey, we have an award for you for $10 million. That day, I went to go pick up the girls, and it was time to celebrate. And I told them about the contract. And they were like, all right, let's go to Chipotle. And I went to the ATM to withdraw money, and I could not withdraw $20 out of my account. I didn't have $20 to buy my girls Chipotle. That was a breakthrough for me, and it still is today.
You know, there's a James. His name is Harold, her name is Sandra, and they have a dream. They're at the beginning of their journey, and nothing seems to be lining up. What would be your advice to him, to her, on creating a breakthrough to thrive in today's business terrain?
Everybody hears those stories of someone surviving an avalanche or a car crash or something like that. But everyday, daily trauma is real. Bad relationships, that's trauma.
Yes.
Not as magnificent as an avalanche, but it's real.
It could feel like
It could feel like avalanche, certainly. When those things happen in your life, that's your phone call. I mean, that is your ticket to the dance. So you have to lean into those moments, because you just graduated, and everything that you dreamed about and hoped for has now called you. So lean into it.
I love when your story becomes my inspiration. Someone is navigating through their journey, and you are the person for them. Like, they are the person who wants to work with you. How do they find you?
So you can reach me at my website, www.trustconsultingservices.com.
Trust?
Consultingservices.com.
Okay.
And my personal email is jamesr@trustconsultingservices.com.
It has been my pleasure. I look forward to watching your journey more. Thank you for your time that you've spent with me.
Well, thank you, Lisa.
Yes. You've been watching Breakthrough with Lisa Nichols. Please follow this beautiful soul, James Radford, so you can see more and read more and find out who he is and how you can possibly work with him. Thank you so much.